Hi, I'm Candace and welcome to my channel. I've been enjoying making studio vlogs lately, and today I'm doing a pack and chat, a very chatty pack and chat with a lot of packing to do. I just went on a trip and I have over about 30 orders to get packed up that I received while I was gone. I was gone for almost 3 weeks, and so let's get started packing orders. I already packed a couple orders and I was filming that, but I was having issues with my other camera that I'm trying to get used to. I'm trying to figure out how to use this really nice camera I have, and I'm having some issues here and there. So I'm back on my phone recording. I hope that the audio is picking up on the mic because I've been having issues with it not being very loud, and I'm trying to figure that out too. So getting lots of little things figured out over the time. So I wanted to talk to you about the trip I went on while I was packing all the orders from that trip. So I'm right in the middle of this one. This one was going out to, I think, Oklahoma. And so I got all that packed up. Because I was gone for so long, all the orders that were coming in, they were, had to wait up to about 3 weeks for me to ship them off, which is what I'm doing today. So as a thank you, I'm including with every single order that's been placed, even through today, a whipped tallow coffee and eye cream. It's a product that I made right before I left. It's a brand new product, and it includes tallow, squalane, and castor oil for the carrier oils, along with an infusion of that coffee and also other calming herbs, and a really advanced peptide that's great for your eye area. It really helps to firm and smooth the area. And the name is dipalmitoyl hydroxyproline, and it's perfect for an anhydrous or a balm-like product that is oil-based or that has oil in it. That's really unique with that product because you don't find a lot of, especially the peptide-derived ingredients that are oil soluble. So I used this the entire time during the trip, and I really loved it. I just took the tiniest amount and I warmed it between my fingers. I pressed it along my eye and orbit area, let it kind of melt and get to body temperature, and then I just did a nice massage, kind of like a lymphatic draining massage. When I used it, I absolutely love it, and it has just a wonderful coffee smell to it. And I'm getting all my orders put back here, and if you see back here, I also have my roaster going. I'm melting down some tallow that I rendered yesterday. I need to make sure it's staying at getting to the correct temperature. I need to get it up enough to start evaporating that water. It's not melted yet, so I'm keeping the top on right now. Once it gets all melted, then I'll take the top off to allow that water to evaporate. Anyways, let's get that next order going, and I'll tell you about the trip. This order is going to Kansas, and it's the Country Clementine Whipped Body Butter. I absolutely love this smell. I love it so much. It is a citrus with warm spices, and it's just so good. So I'm going to get some of this honeycomb paper just for extra protection because this is a glass jar. So where we went on vacation, finally getting to that, we went to Montana, and we had a few stops along the way, there and back. It's a place that we absolutely love going to. We've been going to Montana over the years, almost 10 years now that we've been taking trips up there. Usually we go to the Bitterroot Valley area, which we absolutely love. We have Missoula, and then there's a valley that goes down from there called the Bitterroot Valley. Okay, just want to make sure there was enough space for everything. I'm going to get some of the shred in there and then get that with the eye cream in there, and then a sample also. I'm gonna be tucking that in there really nice, surrounded by the shred, and then getting a soap sample. They got the Country Clementine scent, so I'm gonna give them something a little different. Let me get I'll do a lemon tea cookie soap sample. And we've gone all different times during the year. This was actually the first time we've gone this time of year in July. So that was interesting experiencing this time of year up there. We've gone in early fall, we've gone in winter, we've gone in spring, but never this time in summer. And it's just gorgeous every time of the year. And this time we went and we were our base camp kind of that we had our fifth wheel parked at, and we kind of went out from there, was in Kalispell, which is north of the Flathead Lake and is also north of Missoula. On the way up there, we decided to go through Yosemite. We had never gone to Yosemite before, and we wanted to stop by and just kind of go through the area. We'd just kind of get an idea and a feel for Yosemite, to see if we wanted to go there some year on a trip. And we stopped and saw Old Faithful. And on the way to Yosemite, we went through Jackson, Wyoming. And so we got to see the Jackson Hole area, which was really cute and very busy this time of year. My goodness, it was so busy. And, but it was just beautiful weather, beautiful area. And I'm going to write a little thank you note on the packing slip here. So while we were in Yosemite, we, like I said, we stopped and saw Old Faithful, and that was really interesting and cool to see and experience. And I had no idea there were so many other geysers around that area, and they were all on their own, like frequency of them, I don't know what you call it, like exploding, releasing that built up pressure of water. And so that was something that I always wanted to do and got to experience that. So I'm really grateful my children also got to experience that. This next order is going to Idaho, and we have here a lavender and lemon whipped body butter, a 5C serum, and of course the eye cream I'm going to be including, and a Walk in the Garden soap and Country Clementine soap. So a little bit from my spring collection, a little bit from my summer collection. I absolutely love this 5C serum. If you haven't tried it, it's a good one. It's a bestseller for a reason. I'm going to include a lotion sample in here. We'll go with the watermelon lemonade lotion sample. I think this will fit in the small box pretty good, but let's check that out. Might need to size up to the next size. Let's get an idea here of how everything's gonna fit. I think everything should fit just fine. I'm going to get these wrapped up in a little bit of this honeycomb paper, and then we'll get everything in there all nice and snug and safe and protected. So while we were at Yosemite, and I think it was after we had gone to see Old Faithful, we saw a bison on the side of the road just roaming free. So that was really cool to see. And I'll include a clip here, if I remember to, of seeing that bison. And then we also saw a few bald eagles while we were in there. That we saw, I think, 3 or 4 flying together, and I think it must have been 3, because I think we saw 4 total, and there was one that was separate on its own at some point. So I'll go nicely there, and the soap's beside it, and I'll be putting these 2 in the front here. So from Yosemite, we went up, and this was the second day of our trip. We were start out in where we live, which is in Southern California. So we were able to get to Yosemite on that second day. We left Yosemite in like the early afternoon. We weren't there too long, but it was over an hour at least. It was probably around 2 hours we were there. Just at Old Faithful itself. So we had a nice scenic route up north from there, getting into Montana. And we drove through Bozeman. I had never gone through Bozeman before, and I kind of wanted just to see what it looked like and what it was like there. And it just reminded me of where I live just in Montana. So we kind of crossed that off the list. Not that it was not nice, because it was very nice. It just wasn't the Montana that I'm envisioning vacationing to. And one of the reasons we go up to Montana is just to get a really good feel for the area in order to either get a piece of land or property or buy a house up there in order to vacation up there, because we love it so much. So anyway, we crossed Bozeman off our list of where we would like to kind of be located. And there is absolutely no diss if you happen to absolutely love Bozeman or live there. That's just not where we want to get away to, because it's just like here but in Montana. And then from there it was getting pretty late, and luckily this time of year the sun stays light up there for till well after 9 o'clock at night. So we had so much time to continue our traveling until it got dark. So from Bozeman, we were getting close to being done for the day with driving, because that was a long day. So we ended up stopping at, I think it was Three Forks, Montana. And the next day I had seen the exit we had gone off. There was a Wheat, Montana there, where we had gone off the freeway to stay the night. So that next morning I went over to that Wheat, Montana and got us breakfast. When I went in there, I kind of realized that was like their first shop or store. And it was confirmed later that, yeah, that's where all their wheat is grown and they ship out from there. So that was really cool. That I really enjoy Wheat, Montana, and getting just fresh, delicious food from there. It is such a treat when we go up to Montana, stopping there. And so then the third day of travel, we went through Helena. My husband wanted to stop off at a place that he does business with, and he's done business with this company for many years, and he's talked with them on the phone. So we stopped at their business location and kind of surprised them, but it was really fun, and I think they really enjoyed it too, because they had talked to my husband for years, and then just seeing who you're speaking to for years, and seeing them in person, and that was really fun. All right, it's just starting to get close to that temperature I want it at. The melting tallow is still not quite melted yet, so we're getting close. There's definitely a lot of multitasking going on around here. This next order is going to Washington, and this order has a toasted oak and toffee soap, which I really love. It's great for men and also women as far as a scent. Its scent notes are oak barrel, warm spices, caramelized sugar, vanilla, butterscotch cooling on a rustic oak board. And then the rescue balm. And I took one of these along on our trip. My kids always reach for it for anytime they have a scrape or a scratch or a bug bite. It's infused with herbs. of plantain, comfrey, and calendula. So it helps to really calm irritated skin and also decrease the itch, especially with bug bites. And also is good for sunburn. So it's so good for so many things. I'll include a lotion sample with that one too. Go with a mixed berry crumble lotion sample. And I think it'll fit just great in this extra small box. Got that there, and then I'll wrap this in the honeycomb. So we were in Helena, Montana in the it was pretty early in the morning. And then we drove quite a while through Montana by, we went up through a valley we hadn't gone to before. It was by a Sealy Lake and also Swan Lake, and it was just so beautiful through there, and it reminded my husband of Finland, and that's where his family is from. And so it was just a really beautiful drive with lots of, actually I'm going to put that on that side, lots of pine trees, really tall pine trees along the road, and just so gorgeous through there. And then we ended up making it all the way up to Kalispell, which we were staying at, and getting all set up before it got dark at night. And then I'll just fill in this extra space with some shred. And so that was a Friday night that we came in, and I think that night too, that same night we came in, there was a thunderstorm, so that was kind of exciting. And it was pretty humid there. We're not used to it being very humid, and because of that thunderstorm that had come in, it was kind of humid up there. And because we didn't drive enough, I think it was that next day we took a road trip. I'm gonna get confused on what we did every single day, but I'll kind of tell you what some of the things we did, not necessarily in the order we did them, because I can't remember. So I think that next day we went just into Glacier National Park. We drove up on the Going to the Sun Road, and wow, that road is spectacular and a little frightening. And especially as a passenger, when you are on that edge and there's just this stone block and a sheer cliff going down so far, it was a little scary. And that road is very narrow, and on the other side, a lot of times you have a cliff going up, so the cars on that side want to stay away from the cliff, and the cars on the side I was at that time, you know, you don't want to go too close to the edge. So that was at times a little scary for me. And I don't know if I mentioned it because I recorded this kind of conversation twice now, but we have a fifth wheel. My husband pulls the fifth wheel behind his truck, and we do not have enough room in that one vehicle to fit our whole family. So I drive separate in a separate vehicle, but when we travel, we just follow each other. I'm usually following him. So we went up to the visitor center, which is on the top there, and the views are just spectacular the entire time you're driving in the national forest area, the national park. It's just absolutely beautiful. You're going by beautiful lakes and all these trees and wildlife, and it's just so beautiful. And then when you're on the Going to the Sun Road, you see these enormous valleys, and you're driving on a mountain and you see this huge drop off to side, a huge valley, and then mountains to the other side. And it's so dramatic and beautiful being in God's creation like that. It's just so spectacular. This next order is going to Texas, and this order includes 2 of the Marshmallow Fireside. I think I'm now sold out of these. They're the body butter. So this is an emulsified body butter. So it's like really thick lotion. I absolutely love it. It's especially great during the autumn and winter seasons for that just deep, rich moisturization. And it also includes hydration with the water being added. It's a lotion. And so you're getting the best of both worlds, that really thick, rich moisturizer and also that hydration together. They're really great. This is definitely not going to fit into the extra small box. So let's see if it'll fit in this one. That's not going to fit in there either. So let me go and get a couple larger boxes. All right, let's get these in this larger box. This is again, this Marshmallow Fireside. I love this scent too. It's so warm and cozy, and it's got that added note of like roasted marshmallows, which I think smells really good. It's not overly sweet either. It's just a nice, really cozy smell. And those will fit in there really nicely. And then I'll put the whipped eye cream right in there. And then since that's a lotion, I'm definitely going to include a soap sample in this order. So we took several trips into the Glacier National Park, driving through there, and saw there's like a little village, I think it's called Apgar, and then and that's so cute. And we went to, there's like a little I think it was a schoolhouse that was converted into like a gift shop, and there was a lot of gift shops there. And it's just so beautiful right on that Lake McDonald. There were some days that we went on the river. So one day I was able to take my littlest daughter. I'm going to include a lavender matcha, oops. I'm going to include a lavender matcha latte soap sample with this order. So we were able to go on just a really nice, relaxing raft ride down the river, a portion of the river there. That was really nice. We saw some bald eagles along that route, and it was just so relaxing and beautiful being on the river there. And I just love the scenery around you when you're on the river with all the rocks and the trees, and you just feel like you are just immersed in nature. And the water is so cold there. It's glacier water. And so there was a couple times we got splashed. So that was very refreshing. All right, I got a few poly bags for that size box. So anyway, my husband took my other children that were with us on a whitewater rafting trip. And then they also another day went on a fly fishing, learning, I can't remember what it was called. It was where they were on rafts on the river learning how to fly fish, and that was like an all-day thing, like 7 hours they were on the river there. And then my boys, they loved that so much that my husband did that again just for them another day. And I forgot to put the thank you card in there and the packing slip. That happens sometimes. I think I'll be able to use that again, the sticky part along here. Okay. Having a feeling I was going to miss something here or there, trying to talk and multitask doing this. All right, got that thank you card and packing slip with a note on there. So there was a lot of fun on the river, and my husband really wanted to learn how to fly fish, and he got some gear for it. So in future trips we have, my husband and boys will be able to do that together and have a better idea of what that all involves. Okay, this next order is going to Iowa, and they have a pure solid dish soap and 2 refills. And I need to get the refills in the shrink bags. I use the Biofill-In. Can't remember the exact name. It's a biodegradable shrink wrap film. I just hadn't gotten these shrink wrapped yet, and I actually have 3 to do because there was another order with a refill. I like this shrink wrap. It's not like I don't know what, hard and crunchy like the other one is, like really firm. This has some stretch and give to it, so I really like it. Also, that's biodegradable. So other than going to Glacier Park itself, we did a lot of driving around the area. We went up to Canada one day. That was just past Eureka. And so we went up to the border and didn't really stay up there very long. But then from there, we took another road down that went clear to the west just to see that area. And on that route, we stopped at, I don't remember the name. There was a huge turnout to go see a waterfall, and so to break up that trip, since it was a long day of driving, we went ahead and stopped there. And then I'm just going to shrink these with my heat gun. And then I need to label these. So we stopped there and they had some walking paths or trails, and so we went down to, there was a train track and there was like a bridge or like a walking bridge that goes over the top, and we saw a couple trains go by on there while we were there. We went down to where the river was, and it was pretty spectacular. It was flowing really well, and there was some rapids and waterfalls going on over there. So we explored that area for a little bit, and then when we went back, there's a little building where they sell some food, and that was open by the time we got back to where the car was parked. So we all got ice cream, but in different forms. I got a cold brew coffee with ice cream in it, which was absolutely delicious. And there was I think there was some root beer floats that my children had, and one of them had a scoop of ice cream, but that was a really nice little break from the drive. Now to see what size box this is going to fit in. I think I'll fit in this just fine, my small box. Yeah, great. So we'll go in like that, and then we'll put the eye cream right in there. And this is all soap, but it's not body soap, and this customer ordered everything unscented with the pure, so I'm going to include this unfragranced oat milk and honey soap with that. And this isn't fragranced either. This is naturally scented with that coffee infusion. I also had included as an option for eye cream, it has just a little bit of fragrance oil added to it, and it just imparts the sweetness and a little bit more richness to it, which I absolutely love. And so there's 2 versions, a lightly fragranced or the just naturally coffee scented. I don't even know what I was cutting that for, but now I know what I'm doing. So on that day, we continued along the west and saw some different areas, going to the west on like a northern western route, and saw areas we hadn't seen before and got a feel for the area. And it was just so gorgeous out there, obviously. Then we took that route. It went down as a loop. We went down south through Libby, and then out east again to where we were on, I don't remember the highway number, but it went through Marion and Kyla and then back to Kalispell. So that was quite a drive that day. Another day we went around Flathead Lake. I think that's actually like the very first thing that we did the second day we were there. And now that I'm remembering, because I've forgotten the order of things that we did. So one day we went down south along the western side of the Flathead Lake, which is a very large lake, and then we went up the we went north of the eastern side of the lake, and it's cherry season, and if you know Flathead Lake, there's cherry orchards all along the lake there. It must be just absolute perfect conditions for growing cherries. And stopped at a little place that was selling cherries and got a couple variety of cherries to have, which were absolutely delicious. That was one of the things I wanted to do while we were there, is to get cherries from Flathead Lake, and it was just the timing of it was perfect for cherry season. So another day we did another really big loop out to the west side of Montana, and this time just a little further south. So that road we took back to Kalispell one day along Marion. We took that same road out, and then we went down south and then came back around to the lower part of the Flathead Lake one of the days, if that makes sense. But that was another all-day drive, just seeing beautiful countryside, and just imagining myself living probably about an hour and a half away from Kalispell. All right, this next order is going to Florida, and this one is, I love orders of all sizes. It's just the pure dish soap refill, and these pucks fit in that tin really well. They're a little bit of a smaller size. These are about 5 ounces, and the amount of soap in the tin is about 7 ounces. But I'm also going to include the eye cream in there and a soap sample. Again, I'm going to do that oat milk and honey soap sample. And let's get this all packed up. Get some shred in the bottom here. So we did just lots of driving trips around. Another one we did, which was really amazing, and I loved all of it. But we traveled along the Going to the Sun Road again to the visitor center, but then continued beyond to go the other side of the Glacier National Park. So we went to the east side of Glacier National Park and then took a route that went down south around. And that was just absolutely gorgeous. And we ate at some great restaurants the entire time we were there. We really enjoyed some good food while we were there. There was a pizza place or Italian restaurant called Mama Ev's, and that was in Whitefish. That was really good. They make everything from scratch. They're locally sourced, and they had a wood-fired pizza oven there. It was really delicious. We ate at a cider place. I can't remember what it was called, but it was in Kalispell, and something, I think it started with the B, Cider Works, but they had just amazing food and really interesting menu. It was on an orchard, and they make cider, and so there was a lot of the dishes included apples, and it was really, really good. We ended up eating there 3 different times because we loved it so much. And we also ate at a local kind of fast food restaurant called Mudman. And so some of my boys, my boys really, really loved that one. And we got breakfast sandwiches there one day, and we had their burgers, and it was really good. And then my birthday was happening while we were there, so we ended up going to Whitefish, and I went to, I'll show you. I went to Kimosabi. I wanted to go there. They had just recently opened up a store, not that I had been there before, but in whitefish. And so I got a custom hat there. That's what I wanted. And so this is my custom hat I got from Kimosabi. And they got their name from on the old television show or movie. Anyway, I got it personalized with this beautiful band that has a steer with the horns, and then my initials and a cross that were branded in on the back side here. And then picked out some feathers to go along the side. I didn't want it too busy or anything. But then on the underside of it, I have branded the state of Montana. So it would be fun to take this along with me, and if I go to any other Kimosabis, get that state brand on there too. But I just absolutely love it. I've been wanting a hat for so long, and I wanted it to be special. So we did that for my birthday, and then we went to that Cider Work restaurant again, and it was again so delicious. Obviously we went there 3 times, and then me and my husband went out for a little date, and so that was really nice too. And then before we knew it, our time in Montana was over, and we were bummed, but it was time to get back home. And I think all of us were excited to get back home. So we took about 3 days to get home. We stopped by my husband's sister's house along the way that lives just south of Salt Lake City, and it took us 3 days drive to get back home. It took us 4 days to get there because we did a longer route, and then 3 days to get back home. All right, this next order is going to Colorado, and make sure I get a sample. We'll go with the Country Clementine soap sample. One of the things I forgot in what we did in Montana was we drove by a place going to Glacier, since we had gone there so many times. There was a big yard that had carved statues in there. So we ended up getting a few different things from that place, and my husband was chatting with the artist and owner of that for quite a long time. But I got this to go in here, so I'll be hanging that up soon. I just thought it was just so fitting and beautiful, and a piece of wall art I could put up. And then we got a couple other pieces, and it'll just be just such a great reminder of our love for Montana and nature and just you know, all that. So I was super excited about that. All right. Oh, I didn't tell you what was in this order. We got a oak milk and honey soap, a walk in the garden soap, and a lavender lemon soap, and also a walk in the garden foaming sugar scrub. All right, I think this is going to be the last order I pack in this round, and I'll be doing a part 2 talking about different subjects since I'm almost done talking about the trip. So anyways, our trip home, put that there, and then I'll put this in. Yep, that'll fit in really good. So we got home, and it was so nice coming home. It just felt so, like, the closer we got to home, it just felt more relaxing. Because I don't know if you've driven in California, but it gets really crowded and a lot of traffic on the roads at certain times. So we hit some traffic on the way home, which was a little stressful. Just usually I'm used to it while I'm here, but going from somewhere that is very less populated and just you're in nature and relaxed and just enjoying peacefulness, and then when you're going into lots of traffic and way less nature and getting back to like the world and this, like going through cities and stuff, for me that gets stressful, and it's more stressful after you've been in a peaceful environment. So it's never fun getting used to that again. The same feeling I have every time we go and come back. But as we got closer to home, going down our street, our road that we live in, and being in a rural environment, I love living in a rural environment so much. It just felt so good getting home. And we had our kitchen finished being, it was like a very mini remodel. We didn't have like countertops or appliances replaced. We just had, so while we were gone, this construction was being done in the house, and which was great because I didn't have to worry about not being able to use my kitchen. So that timing worked out great. And we just had a backsplash put in, and that made such a huge difference coming home and seeing that, and our kitchen just being, you know, these final touches being finished. So there was some painting that needed to be done, the backsplash, and then some just finishing pieces and trim work around our cabinetry. And we live in a very, very, very humble home. So this is not extravagant or spectacular. It's just made our very humble home feel finished and comforting and clean and inviting and cozy. So was so thankful that that was able to get done while we were gone. There was some under cabinet lighting put in, and a really old window was replaced with a brand new window. We had a wall inserted AC unit that was taken out, covered up, and we had a mini split put in above that new window. So we have more efficient and better cooling, and also that produces heat, which is really good. So just all these little things that aren't big things, but it coming together, and it just really makes the home feel just that much better. And that was really nice coming home too. So it looks like I have 10 of the almost 30 orders packed up. This sure does take a lot more time doing it this way than just on my own, just getting the orders packed up. But I really enjoyed being able to tell you about the trip, and let me know if you went on any really fun trips this summer so far. I know it's almost over, can't believe it. And if you went on a trip, where was it? Have you been to any national parks? Have you been to Glacier Park? I think another one of the national parks that we really, really love are both Yosemite. That is just beautiful. They're so beautiful. And also Zion National Park. So those are a couple of them that we've been to. I would love to see some of the East Coast national parks and like the Smoky Mountains and Appalachians and all that. So someday. And if you want to stick around to watch part 2, please subscribe so you're notified when that next video comes out. Thank you so much for supporting my small business and just tuning in here and seeing some behind the scenes of my business. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.